Just 6 weeks after Coronation Street legend Gail Platt left Weatherfield for France, the show wasted no time in setting her former home ablaze. Characters were left stunned when David Platt's house, number 8 Coronation Street, was engulfed in flames. The fire was deliberately started by a hooded figure who shoved a rag through the letterbox before dropping 2 lit matches on it. Toya Habib and Max Turner were rushed to the hospital after being rescued from the inferno, but the identity of the arsonist remains a mystery. DC Kit Green is determined to track down the culprit, and if he were to take a peek at betting markets, he might just find some clues to help with his investigation. Shona Platt and Max Turner both rushed into their burning home, fearing that Lily Platt was trapped inside. But was their bravery fueled by something more than just concern? Earlier that evening, Shona had left to collect Sarah's birthday cake, giving her the perfect window to start the fire if it was part of an insurance scam. This theory has gained traction, with betting sites placing her at 6/4 odds as the prime suspect. However, others believe Max might be responsible, with bookies giving him 13/8 odds of being the culprit. Fans are already aware that Patty Bever is set to leave Coronation Street, and many initially speculated that his character might die in the fire. But with Max now expected to survive, could his departure come in the form of a prison sentence for arson instead? One reason Max might not be the culprit is that he was in the bistro around the time the fire was set, giving him an alibi. However, another member of the Platt family could still be a suspect. Shona and Max rushed into number 8, fearing Lily was inside. But what if Lily started the fire herself? It may seem unlikely, but in soaps, the least obvious culprit often turns out to be guilty. Another name in the mix is Hope Stape, who could have planted the idea in Lily's mind, or even be a suspect herself. Young Hope has a track record when it comes to fires, having previously caused a blaze in her own living room last year after accidentally setting her vape alight. Could she have played a role in this latest disaster? There's also compelling evidence suggesting David could be the arsonist, though he insists he has an alibi. After the fire, his sister Sarah Platt confronted him about his suspicious internet searches. "Can you explain why your recent searches include arson and house insurance?" "My nephew's fighting for his life in there," she demanded. David attempted to brush it off, responding, "I went online. I did a little search on how to potentially set fire to your house without it looking like arson. But that's all I did, all right? I just thought about it." Adding to the suspicion, David wasn't at Sarah's birthday party when the fire started. Earlier that evening, he was seen talking to his shady ex-cellmate Andy Garland, who cryptically asked, "Are you sure about this?" David's reply, "I haven't got much choice." It later emerges that Andy has a criminal past involving insurance fraud, raising more doubts about David's involvement. When David's brother Nick Tilsley learns about this connection, he reports him to the police, leading to David's arrest. Bookmakers currently have David at 15/8 odds of being the culprit. With gangster Harvey Gaskell demanding money, an insurance scam would seem like the perfect solution for David. However, David tells Shona he wasn't responsible because he was actually acting as a getaway driver for a robbery that night. The problem? He can't admit that to the police, and Andy refuses to back up his alibi, leaving David in deep trouble. There are several other suspects in the frame for the arson, including Leanne Battersby, who is currently at 2-1 odds to have started the fire. Leanne confessed to Steve McDonald that she couldn't remember where she was when the fire began. However, the drunk character woke up in Victoria Gardens with a box of matches in her pocket. After initially providing her with a false alibi, Steve's conscience eventually got the better of him, and he reported Leanne to the police. Meanwhile, Abby Webster had an argument with Toya before the blaze and was seen hallucinating while lighting a match. Abby has been struggling with her mental health after the death of Mason Radcliffe, Luca Tulin, and is now at 5 sets odds for starting the fire. Even if it wasn't her, could she end up taking the fall for it? Mason's brother, Logan Radcliffe, who works for Harvey Gaskell, was also suspected of being behind the blaze after he was seen walking past the scene when Toya was found unconscious outside number 8. However, despite confessing to Mason's murder, Logan now seems to be off the hook after providing a solid alibi. Nick Tilsley also couldn't find Toya, who was supposed to be working in the bistro office, but it was revealed she had been attacked by Abby, making it unlikely she started the fire. Audrey Roberts, David's grandmother, is another name in the mix. Although it seems unlikely, Nick did mention before the blaze that his gran had been delayed in arriving at the party. Could she have set the fire for insurance purposes? It's a possibility. Finally, there's 10-1 outsider Jack Webster, who came into the bistro just after the Platts discovered the fire. It would be a surprising turn if he turned out to be responsible, but anything is possible in Corrie. Coronation Street delivered some intense moments tonight as the aftermath of the disastrous Platts blaze continued, with accusations flying in every direction. The renowned ITV soap's iconic cobbles were shaken by startling developments when flames engulfed the Platts residence. Shona, David, and their children were left with absolutely nothing after the inferno erupted, sparked by a flaming rag being hurled into their home. Initially, many believed Harvey Gaskell was responsible for the incident, considering David's outstanding debt to him. However, by the conclusion of this evening's episode, Sarah confronted David Platt after uncovering a disturbing secret about him. David vanished in an attempt to track down Mason's brother, convinced that he was behind it. Though he admitted to the police that he had taken his own brother's life, he refused to accept any fault for the fire. As the episode drew to a close, Sarah borrowed David's phone and was stunned to find he had been searching for information on arson and home insurance. When he attempted to justify his actions, Sarah refused to believe his excuses. David admitted he had thought about setting the house on fire to claim the insurance payout, but after realizing how long the process would take, he knew it wouldn't solve his problems. Harvey would still be coming after him in the meantime. But does this suggest David was behind the blaze, or is there another culprit? Meanwhile, both Max and Toya were rushed to the hospital, where doctors worked tirelessly to save them. Nick stayed by Toya's side, but tensions ran high when Leanne arrived, only for Nick to send her away after everything she had done. As for Max, he was left in a coma after firefighters managed to pull him from the burning house. Shona tearfully revealed that his lungs weren't functioning properly, leading doctors to place him in a coma in a desperate attempt to keep him alive. It remains to be seen whether Max or Toya will suffer any lasting damage from the terrifying fire. However, a shocking twist could be on the horizon, one that might see another unexpected death. Although no one else is thought to have been inside the house, one character who visibly struggled during the episode was Shona. She inhaled a significant amount of smoke, but initially didn't appear to be in serious danger. Could this be a deceptive clue? And is she actually at risk? With Max and Toya seemingly the most likely to meet a tragic fate, could the real twist be that Shona is the one who doesn't make it? If she were to die, how would David cope, especially after already enduring the devastating loss of his ex-wife, Kylie Platt? Popular British soaps Coronation Street and Emmerdale are set for significant schedule changes as ITV reduces their weekly airtime. Currently, Coronation Street airs 3-hour-long episodes per week, while Emmerdale runs 4 30-minute episodes plus 1-hour-long special. However, from January 2026, both soaps will shift to a uniform schedule of 30-minute episodes, forming a nightly Soaps Power Hour, with Emmerdale airing at 8 p.m., followed by Coronation Street at 8:30 p.m. The announcement follows the cancellation of BBC's Doctors and scheduling adjustments to Channel 4's Hollyoaks. Kevin Ligo, ITV's Managing Director of Media and Entertainment, explained the decision, citing evolving viewer habits and increased competition for audience attention. "We believe this schedule allows fans to stay up to date while keeping the shows fast-paced and engaging," he said. Research suggests that shorter, streaming-friendly episodes better align with audience expectations for quicker storytelling and satisfying resolutions. Acknowledging the impact on production teams, LIGO assured that ITV Studios would support its staff through the transition. The new format will reduce the soap's total weekly airtime from 6 hours to 5. However, not everyone is pleased. An unnamed Coronation Street cast member described the cuts as devastating, telling Daily Mail, losing the primetime 7 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. slots, along with the iconic hour-long episodes, feels like we're being pushed aside. We're all extremely concerned. Cassie Plummer and Steve McDonald have had several false starts in recent months, but Coronation Street appears ready to reignite their chemistry in upcoming episodes. Former Rovers landlord Steve has struggled to find love since his breakup with ex-wife Tracy Barlow last year. After trying his luck on dating apps, he unexpectedly bonded with Cassie during a speed dating event. Their connection deepened when Cassie took a job as a carer for Steve's father-in-law, Ken Barlow, which ultimately led to the pair spending the night together. However, their potential romance hit a roadblock when Steve became wary of Cassie's motives, fearing, along with the rest of the Barlow family, that she was trying to manipulate Ken for financial gain. Their suspicions weren't entirely unfounded. Cassie has recently been caught secretly drugging Ken, seemingly as part of a twisted plan, not only to keep him dependent on her care, but possibly to exploit him financially in the process. Next week, Cassie opens up about her feelings for Steve to his ex, Leanne Battersby. Admitting just how much she likes him, she is met with encouragement from Leanne, who urges her to take a chance, but will Steve be able to move past his doubts? Claire Sweeney, who portrays Cassie, recently spoke about the shocking turn in Cassie and Ken's storyline. "It's Ken Barlow. He's a national treasure," she said. "I'm going to be public enemy number one. I think viewers are going to absolutely hate her. The funny thing is, they were just starting to warm up to her, and then this happens." Reflecting on Cassie's actions, she added, "In my head, as I play her, I'm trying to find some redeeming qualities, but I don't know if there are any. As a Corrie fan myself, I'd be fuming watching this." She also shared a humorous encounter from her summer holiday in Majorca. "All the old dears were coming up to me saying, 'You leave Ken alone, and don't you be upsetting Ken now,' and that was before I'd even done anything."